Did you know that 95% of purchase decisions are made subconsciously? That's right, most of the choices we make aren't driven by logic, but by emotions and hidden triggers. In today's competitive market, understanding these subconscious drivers is more important than ever. Imagine if you could tap into this hidden part of your customers' minds. What if you could know exactly what makes them tick and why they choose one product over another? That's the power of behavioral research. It's not just about gathering data, it's about decoding the secrets behind your customers' actions. In this video, we'll walk you through 8 essential steps to uncover these secrets. From crafting detailed customer personas to testing what really works, you'll learn how to transform raw data into powerful marketing strategies. Ready to dive in and transform your marketing approach? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Psychology Behind the Purchase. Unlocking customer minds. Understanding your customer's mind is the foundation of effective marketing. But it's not just about knowing their age or where they live, it's about digging deeper. Why do they make the choices they do? According to a study by Harvard Business School, 95% of purchasing decisions are subconscious. That's a huge percentage driven by emotions, not logic. So, if you're not tapping into the psychological side of your customer, you're missing out. Consider this: when Apple launches a new product, people don't just buy it because it's a good phone. They buy it because of how it makes them feel, innovative, cutting edge, and part of an exclusive club. This is a prime example of what behavioral research can reveal. You need to understand these emotional drivers to connect with your audience on a deeper level. Start by asking yourself, what problem is my product solving? And more importantly, how does that solution make my customer feel? A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that consumers who feel a strong emotional connection to a brand have a 306% higher lifetime value. That's the power of psychology in marketing. Chapter 2: Crafting the Perfect Persona. Dive into customer archetypes. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of customer personas. You've probably heard about them before, but how often do marketers create personas that go beyond basic demographics? The real magic happens when you create a persona that feels like a living, breathing person. Start with demographics, sure. But then ask, what keeps this person up at night? What are their values? According to Tony Zambito, the creator of buyer personas, understanding the why behind customer behavior is key. He says, buyer personas are not about customer facts, but customer stories. For instance, say you're selling eco-friendly products. Your ideal customer isn't just someone who recycles. They're someone who believes in making a positive impact on the world. They probably read about climate change, volunteer for environmental causes, and feel a strong sense of responsibility toward the planet. This level of detail in your persona helps you tailor your messaging in a way that resonates on a personal level. To give you an idea, businesses that use buyer personas in their marketing strategies see a 73% higher conversion rate. When you know your customer this well, it's like having a map to guide all your marketing efforts. Chapter 3: Mind Mapping Motivation. Discovering the why behind actions. Understanding customer motivation is like finding the key to a locked door. Once you have it, everything opens up. But how do you uncover these hidden motivations? It's all about asking the right questions and observing behavior. Start by identifying the primary and secondary needs of your customers. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, people are driven by everything from basic survival to self-actualization. But in marketing, it's often the deeper, less obvious needs that drive behavior. For example, someone might buy a luxury car not just for transportation but to gain social status or boost self-esteem. One method is to use open-ended questions in surveys or interviews. Instead of asking, "Would you buy this product?" ask, "How would this product fit into your life?" This approach can reveal motivations that you wouldn't uncover with more straightforward questions. In fact, research shows that open-ended questions in customer surveys can yield up to 80% more valuable insights. Another powerful tool is observational research. Watch how your customers interact with your product. Are they hesitant at first? Do they use it in unexpected ways? These behaviors can provide clues about their underlying motivations. A classic example is how Coca-Cola discovered that people were using their drink as a mixer with alcohol, leading to targeted marketing for that very use case. Chapter 4: Data with Depth. Collecting behavioral insights that matter. Collecting data is more than just gathering numbers. It's about finding insights that matter. Think of it like digging for gold. You're not just collecting dirt, you're searching for nuggets of value. And in the world of marketing, those nuggets are behavioral insights. Traditional surveys and focus groups are a start, but they often don't go deep enough. To truly understand your customers, you need to use a mix of methods. Consider ethnographic research, where you observe customers in their natural environment. This approach can reveal insights that you'd never get from a survey. For example, Procter & Gamble used ethnography to understand how mothers actually used their diapers, leading to the creation of Pampers, a brand that now dominates the market. You should also consider digital analytics, which can track how customers interact with your website, app, or social media. Tools like heat maps show you where users click the most, helping you understand what grabs their attention. According to a report by Forrester, companies that use advanced digital analytics are 2.8 times more likely to report revenue growth. Emotional analytics is another game changer. This technique uses facial recognition and voice analysis to gauge customer emotions. Companies like Unilever have used emotional analytics to fine-tune their advertising, leading to a 35% increase in engagement. By using a mix of these methods, you can collect data with real depth. And remember, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. The more meaningful your data, the better your marketing decisions will be. Before we dive into the next chapter, if you're finding this valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the rest of this series. Chapter 5: Behavioral Triggers, the secret sauce to influencing decisions. Behavioral triggers are like the secret sauce in marketing. They might be small, but they pack a punch. These are the subtle cues that nudge customers toward a decision, often without them even realizing it. The key is knowing which triggers to use and when. One classic example is scarcity. When something feels rare or limited, people want it more. Ever noticed how websites show only 2 left in stock? That's scarcity at work. According to Robert Cialdini, author of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, scarcity creates a sense of urgency, making people act quickly. In fact, research shows that scarcity can increase sales by up to 226%. Another powerful trigger is social proof. People tend to follow the crowd, especially when they're uncertain about a decision. Showing customer reviews, testimonials, or user-generated content can make your product more appealing. Nielsen found that 92% of consumers trust recommendations from friends and family more than any other type of advertising. Even the presence of 5,000 people have bought this product can be enough to sway someone. Then there's the foot in the door technique. This involves getting someone to agree to a small request first, making them more likely to agree to a larger one later. It's the psychology behind free trials or sample products. Once someone has made a small commitment, they're more invested and more likely to make a bigger purchase. Understanding and using these behavioral triggers can turn a hesitant customer into a committed one. It's about gently guiding them down the path to purchase, using cues that appeal to their natural instincts. Chapter 6: The Emotional Connection, tapping into customer feelings. If you want your marketing to stick, you need to connect with your customers on an emotional level. Emotions are powerful drivers of behavior, often outweighing logic in decision-making. According to a study by the Nielsen Consumer Neuroscience, ads with emotional content perform twice as well as those with rational content. Let's talk about storytelling. People don't just buy products, they buy stories. When a brand tells a compelling story, it creates an emotional bond with its audience. Take Dove's Real Beauty campaign, for example. Instead of just selling soap, they told stories that celebrated real women and real beauty. This approach not only resonated with their audience but also boosted sales by $1.5 billion in the first decade of the campaign. Another way to tap into emotions is through visuals and music. Research from Psychology Today shows that certain colors can evoke specific emotions. For instance, blue is often associated with trust and calm, while red can create excitement or urgency. Music also plays a crucial role. A study published in the Journal of Marketing found that background music can influence how customers perceive a brand and even increase the time they spend in a store. Don't forget the power of nostalgia. People have a strong emotional response to things that remind them of the past. That's why brands like Coca-Cola and Nintendo often tap into nostalgia in their marketing. It makes people feel connected to something familiar, and that connection drives loyalty. When you tap into your customers' emotions, you're not just selling a product, you're creating an experience. And that experience is what keeps customers coming back. Chapter 7: From Insight to Action. Translating research into strategy. Gathering insights is great, but if you don't act on them, they're just data. The real challenge is translating those insights into actionable strategies that drive results. This is where many marketers stumble. Start by prioritizing your insights. Not every piece of data will be equally important. Focus on the insights that have the potential to make the biggest impact. According to Harvard Business Review, companies that prioritize and act on key insights see a 45% increase in efficiency. Once you've identified the most valuable insights, it's time to create a plan. Think about how these insights align with your business goals. If your research shows that customers value sustainability, then incorporating eco-friendly practices into your brand isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must. This strategy should influence everything from product development to marketing messaging. Another strategy is to use insights to personalize your marketing. According to a study by Epsilon, 80% of consumers are more likely to make a purchase when brands offer personalized experiences. This could be as simple as using a customer's name in an email or as complex as tailoring content based on their past behavior. The key is making your customers feel like you understand them on a personal level. Finally, test and refine your strategies. The insights you gather are not set in stone. Use A/B testing to see what works and what doesn't, and be ready to pivot based on the results. A McKinsey report found that companies that regularly test and refine their strategies see a 15% improvement in their marketing ROI. Translating insights into action is where the magic happens. It's the difference between a good campaign and a great one. Chapter 8: Testing and Tweaking, the art of behavioral experimentation. The best marketers are always testing. They understand that what works today might not work tomorrow. That's why experimentation is crucial in marketing. It allows you to stay ahead of the curve and continuously improve your strategies. Start with A/B testing. This is the most straightforward form of experimentation. You create two versions of a marketing asset, like an email or a landing page, and see which one performs better. According to Optimizely, businesses that run A/B tests on a regular basis see a 49% increase in conversions. The key is to test one variable at a time, so you know exactly what made the difference. But don't stop there. Consider multivariate testing, where you test multiple variables at once. This method is more complex but can provide deeper insights. For example, you might test different combinations of headlines, images, and calls to action to see which combination resonates best with your audience. Another powerful tool is cohort analysis. This involves segmenting your customers into groups based on shared characteristics and then tracking their behavior over time. This approach can reveal long-term trends that wouldn't be visible in a simple A/B test. It's particularly useful for understanding customer retention and lifetime value. And remember, not all tests will be successful. According to Harvard Business School, 80–90% of marketing experiments fail. But that's okay. Each failure brings you closer to understanding what works. The key is to learn from each experiment and apply those lessons to future campaigns. Testing and tweaking is an ongoing process. It's about continuously refining your approach based on real customer behavior. And that's how you stay ahead in a competitive market. If you found these insights valuable and want more strategies to elevate your marketing game, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.